success. And I'm going to take some time to introduce our team. So let me see. Oh, and I should tell you, tonight I am here on campus in Irvine, California. And I always have to shout out my hometown roots in Auburn, California. So if any of you are Northern California people, I'd love to connect with you. I know I saw some 530 numbers on our new student list. So I always try to find anybody from the 530. Now, if you guys are feeling nervous tonight, we just want to encourage you all to take a deep breath. You're in the right place. The whole goal for tonight is to get you feeling confident for your first class. So that is the goal tonight. And we're just going to do one step at a time. Tonight, we're baby step towards your February 17th start date. So we're going to introduce some resources, some pages for you guys to bookmark, some things that are going to be helpful to you as you get started. And we'll leave a lot of room for questions and answers and connection. So let's talk about our team a little bit. I am going to hand this over to our dean, Dr. Margaret Christmas Thomas, who is in Dallas. You'll see everybody's location on here. But our dean, Dr. Margaret Christmas Thomas, she was also a huge instrumental part of creating the Townsend Institute and what it is at Concordia, and has just a really wonderful vision for all of you. So, Margaret, I would love to hand it over to you.
I just want to, first of all, say thank you to our advising team who put tonight together, and they always do such a fantastic job. And so we are just all so happy that you're here. You're the reason that all of us work in the calling that we do at Concordia. Our counseling, leadership, and coaching programs are truly something that we feel every single one of our faculty, our staff feels is something that they're doing as a calling. And our whole goal is to support you. I always like to say my favorite part is actually when I see you walk across the stage, and that may feel like a really long way away, but this past December, we just walked 140 students across the stage, and I can't wait till the day that you do too. We are truly here to serve you through your time at the Townsend Institute. We really care about your journey. One of the things that is very exciting to us is a chance to pour into you while you're here. We want to equip you for all the things that you've been called to yourself. And what's so rewarding about that is my background is actually 20 years with at-risk kids all over the country and all over the world. But through the students we've had in the Townsend Institute, I've had the opportunity to teach and touch and send out students in everything from addictions to working with homeless populations to coaching CEOs to anything that you can name. And so you guys are really the whole point of why we're here. And we take that very seriously. We are so glad you're here. You'll get to know all of us throughout the program. I just wanted to take the time to welcome you. And I also want to say, Aubrey has been here since the very beginning too, and you're going to get to see a lot of her handiwork and everything from grad plans to residency and things like that. She has left an amazing impression on our institute too. And so I wanted to make sure I shared that. With that, I will hand it over to Dr. Donna Washburn. She's our assistant dean, and she is truly all things academic. She makes sure that we deliver academic excellence. Not only are we a Christian program, not only do we have the Concordia identity, but we also adhere to the highest standards of accreditation. A degree from Concordia is one that is going to prepare you very well for your profession. And she's going to make sure all that happens, from the faculty to the class, the curriculum, the instruction, all of those pieces are under her domain, and she is going to take good care of you too. So Donna, Dr. Washburn.
Thank you so much, Dr. Christmas. It's so good to see everyone tonight. Man, I've just gone back up and scrolled through where everyone is across the country. It always just does my heart so much good to see that we are pulling and representing from all over the United States. And Dr. Christmas talked about our faculty, and I work closely with faculty all day, every day, and in the classrooms with them. And they are also all across the country. So some of you are in the same states as some of our faculty, and we'll get to hear from them and know those connections as well. But just welcome to the Townsend Institute. We've been praying for you this past week and weeks before. we have been praying for each and every one of you, and praying that as you made your decision to come to Townsend, that the Lord would guide you and open those doors for you. And now we are praying that you are comfortable and happy in the decision, and that you find that this is the right fit, and we believe it is. And one of the ways that we believe that is as Dr. Christmas said, you are going to get the very best education, whether you're a counseling student, executive coaching, organizational leadership, or a certificate student. You're going to get an education like you could not get anywhere else. And we are really, really committed to every single course that you take and every single assignment that you do, pouring into what your future career will be. So I do get the privilege of really working closely with the curriculum and with the faculty. And so my connection to you all is sometimes behind the scenes in the curriculum. And then once in a while, you might get me in a class, as I teach every once in a while in the coursework. But just thrilled to be here with you all, and cannot wait for you to virtually step foot into the classrooms that you'll be able to do very soon, with your 600 class opening very soon. We will be with you every step of the way, and we are so thrilled for each of you that are here tonight. And don't hesitate to reach out to any of us on this call, but I'll just say specifically, if you have any questions around curriculum, around coursework, things like that, there's any of us can answer those questions, but please always feel free to reach out to me. Happy to assist in your journey. So welcome tonight. We're so glad to have you here.
We have some other esteemed members of the team, and these are actually folks that are going to work incredibly closely for you for your success. The whole point of their job is to take care of you and make sure that you have an incredible student experience within your program. The first person I'll mention is Dr. Matthew Palo. He's the program director for the counseling program. He is incredible. He actually, before we had the opportunity to have him on faculty, I knew of his work prior to that because he had written our course that satisfies the accreditation for diagnosis and treatment. And he is a fantastic counseling director. He leads an incredible team of faculty, of counseling faculty who are leaders in so many different areas, many of them just fantastic presenters, written their own textbooks, these sort of things. And he leads that team incredibly well. So you're going to get to know Dr. Palo, and you're going to get to know your counseling faculty, those of you who are in the counseling program, and truly love them. They're a wonderful group. Next is the assistant director, and she also oversees the PhD program, Dr. Caitlin Stafford. Just incredible woman. Also, not only a counselor educator, but also a social worker, and brings tremendous experience in the area with veterans and trauma, addiction, so many wonderful things. And then Michelle Thompson is our senior director of external relations and the executive coaching director. And she has pioneered so much of the work in executive coaching. Currently, she is on global committees shaping the actual course of executive coaching. And so she is just fantastic. We're so blessed to have her leading the executive coaching program. Dr. Ashley Andrews leads the organizational leadership program, and she is fantastic. She is an incredible communicator. She has done so much work just with women's seminars and all sorts of things around the country, working to advance women in leadership, but so many other things too. She's multi-talented. And then finally, Dr. Gilbert Fugit, who is our chaplain. And I hope that you take the opportunity. Not many schools, not many universities have a chaplain dedicated to a specific school. You'll often find in Christian schools, you'll find maybe a pastor or a campus pastor, but we actually have our own chaplain. And during the course of your program here, or to be honest, Dr. Fugit wouldn't mind if you contacted him afterwards. If you ever have a spiritual question, if you need to talk, if something's going on in your life, he's there for you. He also is he and Ashley, if you have not subscribed, I would really encourage you to subscribe to our Tips podcast, where you'll find Dr. Ashley Andrew and Dr. Gilbert Fugit just having conversations with folks like Gary Chapman and Bob Goff and Ken Blanchard and just all these incredible, amazing names that you've always read about. And those are all fellows of our program They come on our TIP podcast, but you'll also see many of them at our town halls and see them as well at residency. And so with that, I think that rounds out our directors. And then our academic advising staff. Aubrey, would you like to introduce them, or would you like me to?
I'm going to introduce our academic advising team. So this team, we're here to help get you to the finish line. And what we talk about is we are the experts on how to graduate. You guys are the experts on your lives, your commitments, and your capacities. So we really partner with you to make sure that you're on a path to success. We want you walking across that stage. We don't want you crawling across that stage, dragging yourself across that stage. We want you to stand confident in that you finished this degree and you finished it well, and you were successful in all areas of your life. You have, you have other vocations beyond being a student as well. And so we don't want your work-life suffering just to get this degree done. We want you to really come across this stage well. You guys are all going into people helping fields. So we really want to encourage you to practice the things that you're going to share with the people that you're helping. My name is Aubrey. I'm the Assistant Director of Student Success. I am also the academic advisor for the PhD program. And then I oversee the advising team. So we have here Emma Alvarez. Emma, if you want to come on and say hi real fast. This is your counselor for the counseling program.
Hi, everyone. I'm Emma. I'm so excited to see all of you. I know I've talked to a good chunk of you through email, phone, all of that. So it's really fun to kind of put some faces to names. So welcome tonight. So excited.
And if you are in the org leadership or executive coaching consulting programs, your advisor is Taylor Renz. You will love her. You just won't see her until later on in the spring because she's currently on maternity leave. And so we are supporting her in having a wonderful transition into motherhood. And she'll be back later spring, so after this spring semester. And then we're all actually local. So we're here on campus. If you guys ever want to come by and say hi, we love to say hi. If you're traveling in, we actually have, you'll hear more about the Townsend Coffee Club later, but we do have a coffee club room and we are brewing Townsend Coffee Club coffee at all times. So we love to make you a latte and sit down and chat and say hi anytime. Emma, do you want to talk to us about the advising website?
Yes, let me show you all what this looks like. I can pull it up 1 second. Can you see that there, the advising website? Yeah, perfect. Awesome. So this is the Townsend Institute advising website. This is going to be a page to bookmark. This is going to be kind of like a one-stop shop. We have so many things that we can share here. We have resources for you. We have the bookstore. So if you haven't purchased books for your first couple of courses, you can access this here. Course information, dates, handbooks, things like that. We also have the contact us. So this is where you can set up an appointment with your advisor. So it'll be me and Aubrey for now. We do have a quick question here. So if you just have something simple where you don't want to get on the phone or video call or things like that, you can just shoot a quick question to us. But this is a great resource to have. It's, again, it's the one-stop shop. It has everything that you could need as you're going through the program. And then going back to this guy. And so here is your MyCUI dashboard. So this will be another thing for you to link. It's going to show your Eagles email. It's going to show your Canvas portal, which is where you're going to be doing all of your, where you're going to be submitting assignments, getting access to the syllabi, getting professor emails, things like that. It's also going to show you important dates, big events coming up, campus-wide. So this is going to be another big resource for you to save. This is also where you can access like student bill, registrar, things like that. So as you're kind of getting acclimated with the site, if anything is coming up, you can reach out to me and Aubrey and we can kind of help guide you through this. But this is going to be an important portal for you guys to keep track of. And then with the MyCUI dashboard, we also have the MyCUI app. So there is an app that you can download onto your phone. And it's gonna be just a condensed version of the PC version. You'll have access to the same resources. And it'll keep things up to date. We'll be talking through you on here through residency. So we'll be sending messages, check-ins, things like that. So as you're kind of getting acclimated with everything, make sure to download the app and kind of play with things a little bit. And then we're here to kind of help you out as we're going through it. Here are some university resources to keep tabs on. So a big part of our enrollment advising is connecting you to your resources. So as you go through the program, if you have any questions outside the scope of advisors, these are a handful of people that you're going to be working with as you're going through the program. So you're going to be working big with the bursar, financial aid offices. These are direct contacts. So you'll be able to see Andrea. She's our direct contact in the financial aid office. And then we have the bursar's office. So this is going to be the direct contacts for them. Make sure when you're emailing these people that you're submitting your e-number, your first and last name, and any important information that you want to share. And if you're already somebody that's feeling nervous about coming to a grad program, it is a lot of writing. So you're going to utilize the writing studio, the library, access to the bookstore, things like that. And this is where you'll be able to find all your books, everything that you'll need, buy, rent. We do have some virtual options, so you can utilize Kindle versions. So whatever works best for you as you're going through your educational program. And then you'll want to get familiar with IT and the registrar. We are going to be talking with the registrar a lot, especially once you get to the registration season. Which you don't have to worry about that now. We got you covered for the first 2 semesters, but after that, we'll be giving you all of the information on how to register for your classes, and you'll get all those forms, how-to videos, things like that. And then we do have the Veterans Resource Center. So if you're a veteran, we recommend you reaching out. This will get you any access to things that you might need. We do have disability access services available to students. So if you're in need of any services like that, please don't hesitate to reach out. And then if you do live locally, if you do have anything on campus, anything that we have Eagles Landing, which is our fun little coffee shop, quick service food. We have the cafeteria, and then we also have the athletics here. So there's fun games, events, things like that to attend.
The best things you guys have access to as a student in the Townsend Institute is our Wellness Center virtual graduate services. So our Wellness Center has this, has virtual care. I'm so sorry, but timely care is the word I'm looking for. So you can go to this link and actually sign up for timely care. Timely care gives you medical and free therapy 24/7. So you can have access to a therapist and medical services whenever you need it. So please make sure to get this chat. If somebody can put the link to this in the chat, that would be great. Get this link, sign up for it, and you pay for this through your graduate student services fee. So if you ever wonder what that student services fee is for, it's for these types of services. All right, so My Records, this is your official record. If you guys ever have questions, like your official academic record is always found in My Records. You route to My Records through the MyCUI dashboard or the MyCUI app. This is where all your personal information is held. And so if you need to change like your address, if you move, things like that, you will change it through here in My Records and through our registrar's office. You can also find out your financial aid information, student bills, And registration happens in My Records as well. So My Records, you route to it again through the MyCUI app, MyCUI dashboard. And if you guys go in there and see anything that doesn't look up to date, please let us know, and we'll make sure that we route you to the right places. So this also sometimes this gets confused, but Canvas is where your courses are, and you might have view of your grades in Canvas, but My Records is where your official grade is stored. So you always want to refer back to My Records for any official grade information. That's once your course is final, then your grade gets posted in My Records, and that's where you would go to find that. And then student registration. So you guys are already registered for your first classes. Thank you for sending in your registration forms. Our advising team registers you for your first 2 semesters of classes, and after that, you will begin to register yourself. So starting this summer, you will register yourself for your fall classes, but we have you covered for spring and summer. We'll get you into the courses that you need. And if you need to make any changes, just make sure you're talking to your advisor. We do use one inbox called TI Advisor at cui.edu. So if you ever get an email from that email address, it's from your advising team. And that is the easiest place to get a hold of any of us. The reason we do that is because it's the fastest response time. We have all 3 of us on that inbox. And so if you're sending an email to that inbox, it's got a lot of coverage on it and a lot of people that can help you. All right, so you guys don't need to worry too much about registration at this point. What you do need to know is that in summer, we will email you from TI Advisor and give you information and instructions on how to register yourself. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us, set an appointment, and we can walk you through it if you're feeling a little uneasy about it. And then we'll also notify you when it's time to make grad plan changes. We do kind of have seasons set, because when we do course planning, we depend on there being accurate information in your grad plan. So we'll always reach out to you guys and say, hey, the next couple weeks are the right time to make changes to your summer registration, spring registration, whatever semester's coming up. And we'll let you know, like, please schedule a time with us to change your grad plan during that time. So we'll get to grad plans in a minute. How about I don't get off track on that? Emma, do you want to talk to us about your degree audit? Not yet the grad plan, but the degree audit.
Yes. So the degree audit is, it's something through DegreeWorks. It's going to give you a general overview of all of the program requirements and kind of track what courses you have completed, what needs to be completed, things like that. So as you're looking at it, we'll be sending an email next week with the link directly to DegreeWorks. So you may not see your grad plan or degree audit uploaded just yet, but it'll populate soon. So when you're looking at it, you'll see there's a blue circle, a green check, a red circle. So all of those have a meaning. Green check means you've completed, blue circle means it's in progress, and a red circle means it's a class that still needs to be completed. So you'll be able to see your grade, your grade point average, the percentage of completion. So you'll be able to see electives, things like that. And electives are typically listed at the very bottom of the degree audit. So as you're going through your grad plan, you'll see a major 600 course. That's going to be your elective placeholder. So once you actually knock those out, you'll see them at the bottom of your degree audit. And then the next thing we'll review is the grad plan. So the grad plan is going to show you your trajectory with us in the program. So if you've received some of this, it'll show your kind of roadmap. It's a resource to see your educational timeline. So it breaks down each class by semester. So you'll get a bird's eye view of what your time with Townsend looks like. You can always access your grad plan online and see what you're taking and when. If you do not see a plan up yet, again, it's coming, we're working on it. So you'll be able to kind of see what advisors and students were looking at the same thing. So please let us know if you have any questions regarding your grad plan, what you're taking next. And we want you to be successful in every area of your life. So we don't want you to lose any joy in your life. We want you to see what's coming, when things are happening, take that vacation, spend time with your family. So if you do need to adjust or get clarity on potentially taking some time off, please don't hesitate to reach out to advising.
All right, let me talk to you about policies, the most exciting topic that we covered tonight for sure. So you guys all signed off on a student handbook form. I want you to know that when you signed your registration forms, there's a couple things that you initialed and signed off to. If in case you didn't look at what it is, you did sign off saying that you know where your handbook is and where the university policies are. Here's the link to the university policies, just in case you didn't know when you said that. Now you do, it's here. And I am gonna ask you guys, we're gonna do a little, I don't know the word for this, but we're gonna seek and find is what I'm gonna call it. Scavenger hunt, there we go. So I am gonna ask you a couple policies because I want to make sure that these ones stick. There is a certain GPA that students need to maintain to be in good academic standing as a graduate student in a graduate program. The first person to put it in the chat will get a prize from us. Thank you, Darren Hunt. And I'm gonna write your name down so I don't forget. Thank you guys, 3.0. So you do need to maintain a 3.0 to stay in good academic standing as a graduate student. If you find that you go below a 3.0, a couple different things can happen. You can end up on academic probation, but if your GPA goes below a 2.0 in any semester, in your semester GPA, it is grounds for automatic dismissal. So you really want, if anything is slipping during a class and you feel like you're not going in a passable direction, please reach out to us because we want to help you figure out, like, do you have time to drop the class, withdraw from it? Is there a better time to take it? We want you to be successful, and we don't want you to end up in a situation where you end up getting dismissed. If you end up on probation, you have a whole semester to raise your GPA, and your advisor will work with you to put you on the best possible plan to get your GPA up as fast as possible. Because again, we want you back in good academic standing. We want you successful. So if you do end up in dismissal, can anybody tell me how many times you can appeal a dismissal? This one might be a little harder to find. Not twice. It's less than twice. So you can appeal. Thanks, Erica. And Hung Lu, okay. Thank you guys. Yes, you can appeal a dismissal once in your lifetime as a student. So we really don't want you to end up there. If you do end up there, people end up there for all types of different reasons. It can be that there were a lot of circumstances outside of your control, maybe some within your control, but a lot of things unexpected. It happens. And if it does, we do have the appeal policy. And so you can appeal one time to come back in and appeal your dismissal. When you come back in, you're on academic probation. So you get one semester to raise your GPA. Can anybody tell me how many times you can repeat a course in this program? Oh no, my chat wasn't scrolled down yet.
Sandy.
Okay, Sandy. Yes, Sandy, correct. You can repeat one course one time in this program. So again, sometimes things happen, right? And if you find yourself in a position where you need to repeat twice, we do have an appeal form. So there's always ways to have conversations with us about it, and we'll be sure to guide you into all your options. Reach out to your advisor if anything happens, and we'll make sure you know all of your options for moving forward. A couple other important things that you will want to know is there is a completion time limit for the counseling program. A lot of this is linked to different state standards, but you have a timeline of 6 years to complete your courses from the time that you start. So after 6 years, your classes would start to expire. So 6 years is very doable to complete the counseling degree in. If you're on our traditional paths, they're set up for a 2-year and 3-year completion. Now, counseling students, do you know your minimum grade that you need to have in each course? It is on the policies website. Thank you, Molly. It is a B or better. So counseling students need to have a B or better. Org leadership, executive coaching students, can any of you tell me what is the minimum grade you need in your courses? Minimum grade for executive coaching and org leadership courses. It is different from the counseling program. It should be a C or better. There, Sarah. So it should be a C or better for the executive coaching and org leadership programs. There are different standards for each of these programs, and so I want you to know that it's very important to know what the rules are for your program. Okay, that's all I have for policies. Let me talk to you a little bit about professors. So here you will see our wonderful director of the Executive Coaching and Consulting Program, Michelle Thompson. You can find our professors' bios on our website and find out a little bit more about them. But for the most part, in your day-to-day classes, your professors will be your first point of contact. If you think that your grade's ever coming in jeopardy or your grade is slipping in any way, please ask your professor first. Reach out to them first to talk about what's going on and see if there's anything that they're able to work with you on. So I would start with your professor and make sure you reach out quickly. Our classes are 7 weeks long. It's not a ton of time. Things can change really rapidly. So you want to reach out to your professor right away. If you notice that you're falling behind or anything like that, it's much easier for all of our staff and faculty to work with a student on a situation, because sometimes life happens. If we know what's happening, if we don't know what's happening, it's much harder for us to do anything. So it does take you being proactive, and sometimes that feels difficult when life is happening, but it's very important as a student to be proactive about communicating with all the resources around you. All right, Emma, you want to talk to us about the class schedules?
Yes, so classes vary for each program, but they'll typically take place in the beginning half of the week, and they will fall with virtual class happening on weeks 1, 3, and 5. So you'll get confirmation on all of this when you get your syllabus, and it will populate in Canvas. Typically, the classes populate in Canvas the week prior to them starting, so you won't have access to it just yet. But we'll get that to you guys next week for sure. So we'll be able to confirm date and time, but it'll be on those weeks 1, 3, and 5, especially, I'm sorry, but for the first class, for 600, it will be on the 17th and 19th. So that's going to be the only difference. But when you start in March, it'll be that weeks 1, 3, and 5. Aubrey did just link the class schedule, so you'll be able to kind of get an overview through there. And you'll get to, play with the registrar site, get acclimated with it. We have the academic calendars in there, class schedules, and then also with the registrar's page, there's more information on graduation and things like that. So take a look, get acclimated. And then in weeks 2 and 4, Aubrey, if you could go to the next slide. You'll have, of each term, you'll have a town hall. So you'll meet with Dr. Townsend, some of our alumni, institute fellows, directors, faculty, and you'll kind of just get some information there. You can find dates for the town halls in your course syllabus. So the next town hall, we'll be sending some more information soon as we lock down those dates. And these town halls are recorded and placed on townsendmedia.org. So you'll be able to find these, watch them. The easiest way to get access to the town halls is through the townsendmedia.org. And we additionally put all of the handouts on the media site as well. So if there's anything that's sticking out to you, anything that's interesting that you would want to, get that tangible piece to it, you'll find it on there. And we also have town halls from previous semesters located there as well. So if you're interested in checking that out, you're more than welcome to go to Townsend Media. And then as a current student of the Townsend Institute, you have the opportunity to connect professionally with others through CUI Connect, so Concordia Connect. It is a networking site where you'll be able to post. It's kind of like Facebook and LinkedIn. So you'll be able to connect with other Townsend Institute, other Concordia students and graduates. We also post important information on regional meetups, residencies, other opportunities across the nation. And it's even has a fun location feature where you can see where other students in your area or around the world. So if you're looking to find somebody who may be near you that's going through the program, you can find this on CUI Connect.
Let's talk about your first class. How are we feeling? You guys have the thumbs up, thumbs down feature. Who's feeling good? Who's feeling nervous? Who's feeling, I don't know, whatever spectrum of feelings you want to be feeling. Let's talk about your first class because this is what we want to get you guys feeling confident in. Thank you for sharing excited but nervous. I think probably a lot of people are right there, excited but nervous. So if you haven't already, please go ahead and purchase and read People Fuel. There is not assigned reading that's going to be due on your first day. Your professors will reach out to you about everything you need to get done on the course, but you can go ahead and purchase and read People Fuel right now if you'd like to start getting the information down. Your first class meeting is going to be on Monday, February 17th. So just know this first class, we call it the 600 class because no matter what program you're in, the numbers are 600. And you guys are all following the same structure for this first class. It's kind of like an orientation class to get you oriented into the program and to the Townsend model, which is part of all of our courses in all of our programs. So it's going to be very different from your traditional class. First things, it's a 2-week term, and it has 2 long class meetings. So this is totally different than any other class you're going to take in the program. You'll see Monday, February 17th, you guys are going to be meeting from 12 to 6 Pacific Standard Time. And you can see the schedule right here. So you're going to start in your smaller classes, which are groups of about 8 students. And you'll start all together with that group. You'll have plenty of breaks to make sure you can get a meal in because this is a long meeting. You guys are going to be doing a lot. That first day, you're going to do an all-institute training with Dr. Townsend. You'll have all of your directors there and all of your program leadership will be there. So you're going to get to know them a little bit more in that meeting. And then you'll have a break and you'll start your first process group. Has anybody here ever done a process group before? You put it in the chat if you have. If you haven't and you're like, what is a process group? Okay, Summit Ultimate Leadership, yes. We love growth skills. So a process group is a growth group where we help you look inside yourself before you go out into your program and learn how to help others look inside themselves. So we start with you. And what will be happening is Dr. Townsend will be training on the character capacities of the growth model, the Townsend growth model, and you'll practice applying each character capacity in an experiential group setting. So you can kind of see here, attachment, separation, integration, adulthood, you see those before process group. Each process group, you're going to be focusing on a specific character capacity and experiencing it yourself. So we're going to start with you. One thing I do want to say is just make sure during your process groups that you guys are in a private location because it is a time of personal sharing. So we want to make sure that the information of your group members and yourself is held confidential. So we don't actually accidentally want things slipping out. If you have people in your household, like if you can go to your own room, have the door shut, just make sure it's a time where you can be really present and also hold confidentiality for your group members. You also might notice that you get a little worn out. We like to call it a vulnerability hangover in the counseling field. And so if you find that you're feeling a little extra worn down, we want to make sure that you know ahead of time to care for yourself and build up some ways to refuel you because process groups can be vulnerable you share as much as you're comfortable sharing. But if you do choose to be vulnerable, you might find that you're having to kind of re-energize yourself in other ways because you're going to have it in a heavy concentration with 4 groups in these 2 meetings. So it's going to be highly concentrated, and I would just come prepared with whatever you need to keep yourself fueled during that time. Residency. So you guys should know already that residency is a big part of our program. It's 4 days that you actually spend here on campus. Most of our program is virtual, and we are in it to be the most relational virtual program in existence. And one of the ways we do that is by actually bringing you on campus for 4 days and having you all connect in person. So you guys will do some process groups in your 600 course. You will come back for residency. You'll do some more process groups. It's a very big part of the program. And we'll send out a lot of information to you as we get closer. But you guys can actually right now check out the townsendresidency.com website and find out a little information. We have, I think we have the outline to the schedule up there. We might have one of our fellows up there. I think, is Michelle on here? Can I say? I think. Okay. So I am just gonna executive decision that I can tell you all that Bob Goff is scheduled to come speak at our residency. So if you're familiar with his work, he's a great time. And if you haven't heard him yet, you can check him out on our podcast, which I'll get to in a second. If you all have not booked your travel yet, I do want to encourage you to book soon. We have a block of rooms at the Hilton Garden Inn, and I would say that most students say that it's a really great connective experience to be at the Hilton Garden Inn with all the other students and traveling to and from campus together. So it's a great way to get connected. All right, and if you're driving in, parking on campus is free. And you'll just let the gate know when you're here that you're here for the Townsend residency, and they'll have a parking pass ready for you. So you heard me mention it already, but you can check out Bob Goff's episode on our Townsend Institute podcast series that are hosted by our chaplain, Dr. Gilbert Fugit, and our director of our organizational leadership program and director of communications, Dr. Ashley Andrew. And we've got a good repertoire. I can't remember how many episodes we have now, but we've been going for about almost 2 years now, and we've got some really great episodes. Right now, we just wrapped our presidential series, and our next episode coming out will be with Dr. Gary Chapman, a special Valentine's Day episode with the creator of the 5 love languages. Another thing that I've mentioned previously and said I'd come back to is the coffee club. So the Townsend Institute Coffee Club, you guys might be aware that there are really not a lot of opportunities for student scholarships out there. Has anybody noticed that? Not for graduate programs. So you do have financial aid. It's mostly in the form of student loans, but there's not a lot of scholarship opportunities. So we at the Townsend Institute kind of brainstorm some ways that we could create scholarship opportunities, and this is what we do. So the Townsend Coffee Club is a coffee subscription service. We have our own Townsend Institute coffee that we have roasted with Jedediah Coffee Roasters in Laguna Beach. And this is just fresh picked up today. So you guys can subscribe and receive monthly coffee. Or you can always buy things one-off on our website. We have coffee scented candles. We have lots of mugs, and you can just buy whole beans as well. So go ahead and check it out. All of the proceeds, all the profits go to student scholarships, and that's how we raise money for that. When you guys have completed your 600 course, you become eligible to apply for a coffee club scholarship. And we will send out the invitation to apply to all students when it's open. You send in your application, we review and award student scholarships this way. So this year, I think we have awarded close to $10,000 in student scholarships. All right. Now we're just going to open it up to questions. So does anybody have a question that they'd like to ask? not everybody at once. If you'd like to put it in the chat, you're welcome to as well.
I have
I
one.
would, uh-huh,
Sorry.
Michael?
You mentioned confidentiality in the process groups. Are the classes recorded, stored in the cloud, or how does the confidentiality work with that?
With the process groups, should not be recorded. Yeah. So I'll actually be sending you guys some more information on confidentiality around the 600 class within the next few business days. So you'll receive an email about that in more detail.
Thank you.
Then, are the
Um,
residencies every summer, or do we do it once at the end?
Yeah, residencies are offered every summer. The goal would be to come to residency as soon as you can. Typically, it's the first time that it's offered as a student is when we kind of expect you to come. There are some students that require residency to be, or I'm sorry, not some students. There are some classes that require residency to be taken before you can continue into those classes.
So we take it once at the beginning.
Yes, yeah, you come one time.
Okay, thank you.
Bree.
Hi. I had just a quick question. So our process groups that are going to be happening in our orientation this next week, would those be the same process groups that we would have when we come for our in-person residency in like end of May? Or will those be different groups?
So they are going to be different groups. We want you guys to experience connecting with another group as well, and just experiencing making new connections in the program. So as you move through the connection or through the program, the hope is that you always know someone in your class already.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay, I know we've got a couple questions in the chat also. Attendance counted for the town hall. John Townsend's meeting at the town hall. Wednesday and Thursday evening. So the night can vary for those. Did we have it on our slide that it's Thursday, Jennifer? Is that where?
No, it was through the my admissions counselor, and I'm a coach for a group, so I changed my group coaching to Thursday night, and now I see that he's on Thursday night. So
Okay.
will that be an issue if I just watch the recordings?
So you would just want to connect with your professor. We do have some allowance to watch recordings. Not everything is required to be live, but you just need to make sure you connect with your professor for each course about it.
Even for the town halls?
Yes, yeah, you would still want to connect with your professor.
Okay, because I could have an issue with that, so I don't know where to go on that.
Yeah, do you want to just send me an email and I'll get you in contact with your professor?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna have to do that every time, and what if one professor says no? Do you get that? To me, that's a decision factor.
Yeah, if you want, what I can do is just send me an email letting me know like exactly what you told me here, and I'll make sure
Okay.
that we get it all worked out.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, this is Annette. I think you mentioned in purchasing books. So do we have to purchase books, or can we just rent ebooks that we can access through Canvas to use per courses, or how does that work?
For books, it is whatever works best for you as long as you have access to the book while you're in the class.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. The other question I have is with the courses. So if I understood correctly, so it's week 1, 3, and 5 are virtual live classes, and those times may vary. The other weeks, are we just working independently, and can we work at our own pace? Meaning if we want to work ahead, we can work ahead, or are we just kind of regulated to each week, only the professors are only going to accept or receive whatever is being studied that particular week?
When you have access to your Canvas shell, you'll see everything in advance. So there might be some things that you can work on in advance, and you're welcome to work on in advance.
Okay.
And then there might be some things that you do have to do like that week maybe if there's a homework partner assignment or something like that, that really needs to be within the week. So there should be a variety, and if you see something that's more independent work, you're welcome to work ahead.
Okay, so I guess I didn't understand that we would have group projects and partners. I was thinking it was all independent work. So is that a large portion of the program is to work in conjunction? No offense, everybody. It's just logistics are not always great when you're trying to work, with individuals, work and manage life and do classes, and particularly evening classes. So is that a large portion of our program typically for the counseling program, or does it vary?
I would say it really varies. So I would not worry too much about it. We have students in the program who have very busy schedules and have been able to manage the amount of connection that's required.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Are there any chat questions that I've missed?
I see in the chat that Stephanie Chang was asking, will we be receiving student ID cards? Jennifer Armstrong says, oh, when the first summer class will start, and there's some questions over there.
Okay, great. Okay. So ID cards, let me start there because it's a really easy one. Yes, you guys can receive student ID cards, and it's a great way to get student discounts. I will get the link and put it in the chat for you guys for our campus safety office. For virtual students, what you can do is you can fill everything out online, you submit a picture, and they mail you the ID card. So you don't have to come on campus, but if you want to wait until you come on campus, you're welcome to do it at that time. And so you can pick it up when you're here for residency as well.
Where can we access that link to sign up for the student ID on the website?
I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Thank you.
Yeah. Chandra?
I understand there's a great deal of writing that will probably be required of all of us. Should we go ahead and get the APA manual? Should we sign up for classes, particularly for those of us who have been out of school for a very long time? What would you suggest?
Yeah, I think the answer to this is kind of going to vary depending on everybody's comfortability. But we do have an online writing lab that is really, really helpful. So we have a lot of resources through the university. And I would say if you're particularly concerned about APA, go ahead and purchase any of the recommended materials around it. But know that you also have the online writing lab where you can submit your papers and they'll review it for APA formatting and send your revisions back. If you want to do that, you do need to submit before your deadline to give them a few days to review. But we have resources here.
Is it okay to use Google Docs, or do we have to have Microsoft Word? Is there a certain, I guess, like writing, what's the word, program or whatever that we are required to use?
No, you can use whichever works best for you on that between Microsoft Word and Google Docs.
Awesome, thank you.
Is there a program that you guys use? So I've done a couple other master's programs, and is there a program that we have to submit our papers to for just technical writing review apart from APA? Is there something we need to send it through Townsend Institute before we submit it for the class?
Dr. Christmas Thomas, I see you on here still. And so you all know I'm not in the course shells, so I'm not as familiar with that part. So I'm gonna actually hand it to our dean for that.
Okay.
So we use Canvas as our learning management system. Okay. And as a part of Canvas, you'll have access to your class. It'll have weekly folders where you'll be able to see all of your assignments. And with each assignment, there'll be a place to turn it in. Now, you should know that we do have tools that come with that learning management system, like SafeAssign, or various things to ensure that there hasn't been like any plagiarism or it hasn't been AI generated or something like that. But as far as the end user feel, you are just submitting the paper. So.
Thank you.
So my
DK? DK, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. It's about the program used, the software. As a student, do we have access to like Word for document submission and all that?
Yeah, like you guys do have a student discount on Microsoft Word and all Microsoft Office Suite. So it's through our IT department. And that link should have been on our slides, but I'll put it in the chat too. And just so you guys know, we'll send out a recording with all of the links and the slides and everything. So you'll get, if you don't catch this information right now, you'll have access to it again.
Do you know which
So,
internship is supposed to start?
when what?
The internship for the counseling program, what semester we have to start that with?
Yeah, so you'll first start with practicum and then internship. You have a whole, we call it field work. And it's a year-long experience, 3-semester experience. So you'll start first with practicum, internship 1, then internship 2. It typically starts after it depends on what track you're in. If you're in the 2-year track, then it's going to be your 2nd year of the program. And if you're in the 3-year track, it's going to be your 3rd year. So it'll be your final year of the program.
Thank you.
Lily, I know you had a question and it got cut off. So did you get your answer already?
No worries. Thank you for noting. My question is this, because like we are all new students, so we're trying to like get into all the different websites and trying to get to know things and getting a feel of things. It can be a little overwhelming. So
Yes.
what I think maybe my concern is sometimes there could be like readings, there could be different things that I could have missed. And as I try to familiarize myself with the websites and things like that, would we get emails to tell us that, hey, don't miss purchase of this textbooks, or hey, there's reading, there's assignments, so that we are on top of things?
Yes, thank you for asking this because I know it's kind of thrown a lot at you guys at once. So that you know what tonight, the stuff that we're giving you is all resources and you will probably come across it many times in the program. But we want to make sure you have access to it from the get-go. You can always reach out to your advising department to catch up on anything that if you feel like you're missing any information. But for anything that's required for a course, you're going to get a welcome email from your professor when your course opens. It will all be listed in Canvas, so you'll be able to see exactly what's due and what's required. But you will get a welcome email from your professor when your course opens. This first 600 course is going to open on the 12th. So you guys will be getting an email from your professor the morning of the 12th. Typically, you will get an email from your professor more like 1 to 2 weeks before our course opens. This one is unique in that it's closer to the start date just because we are getting all the brand new students arranged in your process groups. So it takes a little bit of extra time for this one. And that's why we gave you the People Feel book right away, because that's all that you are required to have for this course. Alejandro?
Awesome. Yeah, so just a quick question regarding the residency and internship. This is definitely down the road, but for somebody like myself, I live in the state of Texas, live also in a border town, so it's a little harder to find access to the things that I need. So would there be some way for you guys to be able to help someone like me or anybody else who's out of the state of California?
Specifically.
So when it comes to like the internship program specifically, when it comes to interning with, somebody else who has a practice.
Yeah, we do have like a Supervision Assist is what we have, and it has a list of every site we've ever worked with. So you guys will have access of places to start where we've already partnered with different sites for the counseling program. We also, Texas, we have a lot of faculty in Texas, all over Texas. Yes. So you've definitely got lots of good connections in that state to work with. But yeah, we do have Supervision Assist is how so we don't do practicum placement. It is a job search process, but we have a starting point for you to start with partnered sites.
Perfect. Thank you.
Michelle is one of our faculty in Texas. Our dean is also in Texas. We've got a lot of people in Texas. Well, we did ask you guys to prepare to be here till 5:30 Pacific, and it is now 5:30 Pacific. So I am going to go ahead and say if you guys are welcome to head off to your night. If anybody has a burning question, you're welcome to stay on. Our advising team will stay on for a little bit and answer a couple more questions. If you have an unanswered question in the chat, please email us at tiadvisor@cui.edu. We'll also go through the chat transcript and try to catch anything that we missed and reach back out to you as well. But we're so excited to have you all join us this spring. Less than 2 weeks, less than a week and a half. We'll have you guys are going to be students again, and we're so excited to do this journey with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions hanging out there?
Nice job, ladies. Margaret, you did lovely.
Oh my goodness, Aubrey, you did such a fantastic job. And Emma, you too. You guys led such a great orientation. Thank you both so much. It was really so nice.
Thank you.
And I
Emma,
was
will you stop the
ready.
recording?
Yes.